Hello and welcome to this session, Student Life in 10 Minutes. My name's James Calker and I'm a Schools and Colleges Liaison Officer at Royal Holloway University. In this session, I'm going to give you an introduction to higher education. We're going to talk about the transition to university. We're going to talk about academic life and general life skills that you'll need at university. And finally, we're going to talk about student activities, so what students do alongside studying. To begin with though, what is university all about? Well, university is about lots of different things. First and foremost, university prepares students for life outside of education. University can impact people's lives through both education and research. Earnings for graduates are often higher than non-graduates and reach a peak later on in life, according to an Office for National Statistics survey in 2017. And finally, university is about broadening the knowledge of a subject that you love. Before moving further, however, we need to think about whether or not university is right for you. First and foremost, you need to think about why you want to continue your studies after you finish school or college. You need to think about whether or not university is the best option for your future career. Once you've decided on this, you need to look into courses available. Are they what you'd expect? Are they practical or theoretical? What is university life like? Is that what you'd expect? Then, you want to find out about entry requirements for courses, both GCSE, A-Level, BTEC or International Baccalaureate. You want to look at open day dates, whether they're online or in person, so that you can visit a university or check out what it's like. And then finally, you want to consider the location and the financial situation. So, moving forward onto the transition to university, one of the key areas to think about are life skills. And when we talk about life skills, we mean a number of things. But, as examples, we're talking about cooking, something that you'll need to do a lot more at university. Talk about budgeting, so managing your money more sensibly and in a most effective way. We'll talk about paying for bills and rent, paying for important things up front. And finally, we're talking about chores, so doing things that you may have done already if you're living at home with parents or carers, but you'll do a lot more as you move on to becoming far more independent at university. In addition to this, you want to consider where you might live. There are three main options to where you could live at university. The first is living at home with parents, carers or other family members and commuting to university. This is a sensible option sometimes and often can save a bit of money. Or you could live in a shared house with fellow course mates or friends nearby the university that you're studying at. Finally, you may live in university-run residence or accommodation. This often is a safer option in your first year and gives you the opportunity to be close to campus or the university while you're settling in. Also, you want to think about the support that you could receive at university. Universities offer a whole host of different elements of support, including part-time work, internships and future careers, support on and off-campus support for students, nursery services, financial advice on bursaries, scholarships and loans, relaxation sessions and workshops and one-to-ones to help you better study, study mobility, anxiety disorders and any other disabilities that you may need help with, faith classes, prayer rooms, interfaith events to help you again with your well-being, and finally maybe a health centre, physiotherapy or psychiatry whether or not you need it. One of the key things about university is financing your studies. University in the UK, tuition fees are currently charged at £9,250 a year maximum. For UK students, you're able to take out a tuition fee and a maintenance loan to help you with both the cost of your education but also your cost of living. This does not need to be repaid until after you've graduated and you're earning above the threshold, which is currently £26,575 a year. For more information and to apply for student finance, you need to go to Student Finance England if you live in England or one of the respective other nations in the UK. They are responsible for the student loan process, not UCAS and not the universities. Often applications open at the end of February, early March, and other universities will also offer different scholarships and bursaries to support you through your studies. Moving on from life skills, let's move on to the academic life. And school is quite different to university. At school, for example, often you're taught everything you need to know for your classes and your tests. You have lessons all day, and you're often reminded about homework and coursework. University is a little bit different. You learn far more independently, you have a mixture of free time and lessons, and you're responsible for your work and your deadlines. Though the support is there, university students have a lot more expectations on them. There are a number of skills that you may need for university that you may already have at the moment. First is a passion for the subject looking to study, working independently, perseverance and overcoming challenges, thinking wider than your original thoughts, and time management and organisation, all vital skills when studying at university. There's a number of different academic support options available at universities as well. At Royal Holloway, we have the library services who offer online training sessions, reading lists, resource lists, as well as many other different bits of support. We have CDAS, the Centre of Educational Development and Academic Skills, who offer one-to-one academic advice, group workshops, and self-study resources. We have a personal tutor system, which is the main academic contact for students throughout their studies within their department. And finally, we have a peer guide system, which is support from older students who guide, refer, and encourage first-year students. This is what we offer at Royal Holloway, but many universities will offer things very similar. University teaching is slightly different as well from school or college. There are three main types of university teaching. The first are lectures. These are often much bigger classes with all of your year group often in attendance. In these lectures, an academic may stand at the front and talk with a PowerPoint while students take notes. It's your job to take notes that you think are important. Often, lectures can take between 1 and 3 hours long with breaks in between. Secondly, we have seminars. These are much smaller classes, often with 10 to 15 students and an academic. Discussion is based around a certain topic or theme that you may have learnt about in the lecture that week. This is student-led discussion with a bit of input from the academic, and these are often between 1 and 2 hours long. And finally, we have labs. As could be expected, these are very common teaching style for the sciences. They take place in a laboratory or in the field. This is a good opportunity for students to get their hands on with their subject and put into practice things that they've been learning about in their lectures and seminars. These can often be between 1 and 5 hours long with breaks in between. And finally, we move on to student activities. So activities that students get up to outside of their academic studies. The place for everything student activities is the Students' Union. A Students' Union is a charity set up as a part of the university, which is there for students and run by students. The Students' Union will run elections for elected leaders of the union who will direct what happens. They run different food markets and stalls and big events such as that. They run careers-based events, one-to-one advice on academic and housing support and other pastoral support. They often are the home of societies and sports and media outlets at the university. They run volunteering sessions as well as relaxation sessions, and finally often will run loads of different social events as well. The first round of student activities are societies. These are student-run groups, often based around a special interest or a passion that a group of students have. Here's an example of a few that we have at Royal Holloway, as you can see on the board here. The second strand is sports. So both competitive and non-competitive sport are very prominent at university. Sports clubs may play in regional and national competitions, plus varsity, which is a local rivalry with another university. They'll offer fitness suites and classes, as well as non-competitive active sessions to keep students moving. There may be social leagues such as five-side football or hockey or netball, coaching, volunteering, opportunities and different scholarships, as well as social events such as colour runs and cycle cinemas. The third and final strand of student activities are media outlets. At Royal Holloway, we have a number of different media outlets. We have our magazine, the Orbital magazine, which gives students an opportunity to demonstrate journalism, as well as organising the content. We have our TV station, Rhubarb TV, which gives students the chance to be both in front and behind camera. We have Insanity Radio, which is on FM radio, which again gives students the opportunity to present a radio show, or be behind the scenes and work on content or editing. And finally, we have The Founder, our independent newspaper, again, which gives students an opportunity to demonstrate their journalism ability. The final element of student life outside of academic studies is career and part-time work. All or most universities will have a career service, with careers specialists running lectures, workshops, one-to-one meetings and careers fairs. Different placements, whether that's a full-year placement, a summer placement or a micro placement. There will often be opportunities to get on-campus or on-university work, working in catering, library, administration or as a student ambassador, as well as opportunities to get work in the local area, so local retail, restaurants and bars. So, to summarise, what's it like to be a university student? University presents many once-in-a-lifetime opportunities and can be a really transformative experience for many students. University and school are quite different, but you can begin to develop skills now whilst you're still at sixth form or college. There is lots of support at universities, whether that's both academic or personal. Though you're expected to be far more independent and more responsible at university, there is still support available to you if you need it. Students live very busy social lives with plenty to do in their free time. However, every student's experience is different. There's no one way to experience university. It's really down to you and your interests and what you want to get involved in. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that's been useful to you. If you'd like to know more about Royal Holloway, you can download or order one of our prospectuses at this QR code here. If you want to hear more from us, you can sign up to our mailings at the bottom here as well. If you'd like to take a look around our campus, you can use our virtual experience on our website at the link here. To ask questions to current students and find out about student lives from the students that are experiencing it, you can use our chat function on our website. And finally, you can find out more about our online resources at this link here. Thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.